Hello students and welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Shefali Nagpal, Associate Professor at Human Resource Development Center, Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Sonipat. We are studying the paper Managing Culture and Diversity, and today we will study the module Talent Management for a Diversified Workforce. On the completion of this module, you would be able to understand the concept of the talent management and also get familiar with the ways of handling the talent management in a diversified workforce. Let us begin with the introduction to the talent management. In today's competitive business environment, just common human resource is not of much importance. The most important and invaluable asset is the talented people of the organization. It is the only asset of the organization which lead to the pathway of the success. Human capital is playing important role as a strategic partner instead of supporting the managerial task in the companies, because greatest assets of the organization are its human beings. The demand of any organization is to achieve an advanced stated objective and to fulfill its task successfully. In order to be able to carry out its purposes, the organization has to pay all its human resources, supplies, techniques and technologies, capital as well as the methods, and efficiently as possible. A key element in the accomplishment of in advance stated objectives and attaining the organizational required performance efficiency are people, mainly the talented individuals. These personals contribute to the great extent to the implementation of the strategy and the organization's fiscal objectives. There is a need that the organization pays the increased attention to them, concentrate on the complete and systematic work with them, and applies the arrangement of the talent management in the company. If an organization has the human resource power but not the talent, then it is the living machine that an organization has employed. So the manpower with the talent is priceless and most important asset of the organization. Organizations are operating in the progressively vibrant environment. To be truly effective, they need to stay one step ahead of the business game and predict who will be the key drivers for their future success. In such a situation, the approach taken on talent is the closest an organization gets to a crystal ball. It can permit them to recognize the leadership DNA that will affect their performance in the future, what the predictor genes look like, how to measure them in classifying high potential, and how to develop those generic vectors through the learning environment. The word talent has gained significance nowadays. It is said that the individual without talent is of no use. He cannot be effective in the life if he has no talent, but talent is a rare resource that is found in few human beings. Once the organization spots and find out such human beings, then surely they are going to be successful. As talent is scarce, the organizations have to be very cautious in finding out the talented employees for its working. Individual belong to the diverse backgrounds, therefore possesses the diverse talents. So this is an organization responsibility to effectively manage the talents of its staff to achieve the business objectives. Let us understand the talent management with the few definitions. Over the years, the nature of the GDP in India and across the world has seen a significant shift towards the services. What does this actually mean for the management profession? This question can easily be answered if you look at how the service revenue gets generated. Service of any kind, that it be customer care executive who gives you the information about, you call your bank, your guest relation executive at the hotel, where you have an organized conference, who ensure you to event goes like clockwork, is all generated through people. You may rightly argue that another couple of intangibles which play a big role in this revenue generation process is a technology. But needless to argue, no processes or technology is any good without the right talent managing them. And why speak of just managing? Right people can create the right design, right processes, and adopt the right technology to propel any organization in the desired direction. Over the last few decades, human resources have therefore developed a strategic importance. While earlier it was enough to have the right person at the right job, Now there are more variables an HR manager would like to have control on. The HR manager would like to have the right person at the right place at the right time for the optimum time and at the right price. On one hand, while human resource has developed heightened value as a factor of production, the softer part of this resource person, such as temperament, knowledge, relationship building, skill, competency, makes it increasingly complex to manage it in a strictly scientific manner. On a lighter note, finding a method in this entire madness is what the talent management is all about. On a serious note, organizations have now realized that the people could be that crucial differentiating edge for them in the increasingly competitive marketplace. Increasingly, all organizations are terming their people strategy as talent management to differentiate it from the hackneyed methods of handling the essential processes of human resource development. Let us see the definition of talent management. According to Morris, talent is the identifiable ability that is perceived to add immediate or future value to any prescribed activity, discipline, or entrepreneur. The talent management can therefore be defined as a conscious and deliberate attempt to attract, engage, develop, and retain people with the aptitude and ability to meet the current and future organizational needs. According to CIPD 2006, the process by which the talent is sought, developed, and directed to achieve goals. Let us now see what are the objectives of talent management. A talent management system should have the capability to create and continuously optimize the talent resources needed to execute the business strategy, like attracting, engaging, developing, and retaining them. Their performance should be driven in the light of the strategic goals of the organization. Through innovation and continuous improvement, they should be able to add value to themselves as well as to the organization. We can see here the objectives of the talent management. This is talent attraction, talent engagement, talent development, talent retention. Now let us understand about the talent attraction in brief. As per the Towers Parent Global Workforce Study done in the 2010, the top drivers for talent in the emerging economies were very different from those in matured economies. The study has brought out the top drivers for attraction to talent in India are: one is career advancement, second is learning and development opportunities, and third is challenging work. The objectives of the talent management include talent attraction. Packaging these drivers of talent attraction in the company's brand identity is the trick of building a successful employer brand. Employer branding is defined by Simon Barrow and Tim Ambler in the year 1996 as the package of functional, economic, psychological benefits provided by the employment and identified with the employing company. The package of benefits offered by the company has come to be known as the Employee Value Proposition, EVP. For any brand to become attractive, it has or have an EVP. A winning EVP should have rational as well as emotive benefits. Therefore, a strong employer brand would include features to promise exciting works, great company, wealth and reward, growth and development. Contrary to the yesteryears when the consultant would stress on defining and communicating a powerful EVP, now the same is being touted as being outmoded. With the workplace becoming more and more diverse, multiple values propositions have to be developed and communicated to a diverse talent walk in through your doors. One obvious question which comes to the mind is, what about the company's brand? The company brand definitely matters, but it is the employer brand that attract the kind of employees that all the employers are on the lookout for. The advantages of the employer branding. It include ability to attract the best in talent pool. Second is ability to resist a salary hike in a competitive market. Third is shorter time to fill the positions. Fourth is higher employee commitment. Fifth is lower employee turnover. Second is talent engagement. Talent engagement can be assured by taking into considerations the primarily 5 factors. One is rational commitment, which include the work itself, the opportunities for personal growth. Second is emotional commitment, which consists of work environment, leadership, opportunities to contribute. The work itself. The work itself can create immense job satisfaction and give reasons to the employee to stay engaged. The factors involved are interesting and challenging work. Responsibility, which include the feelings that the work is important and having control over one's resources. Autonomy, which is freedom to act. Scope to use and develop skill and abilities. The availability of the resources required to carry out the work and opportunities for advancement. Next is opportunities for personal growth. Most people want to move ahead, that is, grow in their jobs. Learning is a satisfying and rewarding experience and makes a significant contribution towards making the employee feel that the organization cares and is fair to its people. Satisfaction of growth needs depend upon the people finding the opportunity to be what they are best at and become what they can. The opportunity to grow and develop is a motivating factor that directly impacts on employee engagement when it is an intrinsic element of the work. Work environment. The work environment should be such that it is not only nurtures but actually enhances the performance and potential of the employee. The various different components which contribute to work environment is communication, employee involvement, work-life balance, working condition, and building effective work relationships. The positive work environment, as you can see in the figure, includes the accept the right position, be social, communicate, be positive, take responsibility. Next is leadership. Managers play a big role in engaging talent. For employees, it is much more important that the line manager directly engages with them in enabling environment, learning and managing their performance than the wider organizations driven schemes. Opportunities to contribute. To engage employees, they need to believe that they can make a difference. Employee, when given the opportunity to contribute, take more active interest in the organization beyond their personal interest. A well-managed suggestion scheme in an organization is an excellent example of the same. The third objective of the talent management is talent development. Earlier, it was advocated and followed that companies identify their top performance and put them in the star club. But now it has been seen that such things end up in the huge political exercise, especially if the organization is large with many divisions. The organization that focus on their development efforts on the high achievers often fail to recognize the contribution of the staff members who offer great intangibles. A list of best performers is too often composed of the individual who generate revenue, thus ignoring the work of individuals who act as a bridge between the departments. There is no matrix to measure someone's value in being able to communicate with the individual across the entire organization. With passing time, the popular theory which has emerged, and that is that talent strategy is required for the entire organization and not the privileged few. Third is talent development. Some inputs the organization could follow for the talent development are: one is the philosophy of talent management should lay emphasis on engaging and developing the talents that has a strong potential rather than those that have a good appraisal reviews. Second, nurturing, engaging and molding the growth of the talent will help in facilitating the employee's personal growth. This needs to be a two-way process. Third is an environment conducive to continuous learning and regular reviews, which is measured across the global benchmarks. Fourth is, rather than just preaching the work-life balance philosophy, it should be practiced. Fifth is internal job posting, career and succession planning, mentoring and coaching, job shadowing, secondments. All of these can aid to the employee in honing their skills. The another objective of the talent management is talent retention. It is highly unlikely that the employee will leave if they have coffee with their mentor once in every 2 months, and that about sum up retention. It is a situation whether an organization should focus on potential employees, key employees, or focus on all the employees of the organization. If the organization does not focus on the key employees, there is a strong chance that there would be an increase in risk of leaving. Fourth is talent retention. Some inputs the organization could follow for the talent retentions are: one is competitive compensation strategies and good incentives. Second is motivators such as autonomy at work, prudence to utilize their skill set and recognition, sense of pride and achievement are also important for the employee. Third is career opportunities for the growth for high potential employees and star performers and the rest of the employees. Fourth is flexi work initiatives such as telecommuting, flexi timing and fun at work. Fifth is global job rotations. Sixth is job enrichment. Seventh is mentoring and coaching. Eighth is set up programs which can make employee ready to take on future roles and responsibilities. Others are provide a clear sight of the employee's future growth prospect from their present career path. They have to put in place systems that will help unleash the potential of their workforce. Next is strategy for problem solving and creating a healthy environment for employees. Now let us see what are the dimensions of the talent management. While talent management fast developed as a hot topic of discussion for all the human resource manager, it continues to be perceived and understood as a fuzzy combination of some historic elements of the HR system, which if managed right would make the things work. Many models have been propounded by the management gurus and large consultancy firms. The dimensions of the talent management include global search for talent, lateral recruiting, finding and training the people with the range of management skills, changing face of the workforce, out of box thinking. First is global search for talent. A brief outlook at the talent pool in the different parts of the world is different. The baby boomers in the developed world are not retiring. These retirees are taking with their valuable experience, knowledge and leaving the big gaps in the workforce. In these countries, corporate recruiters are beginning to look outside their own markets to fulfill the skill gap. As per the survey, People for Growth, the talent challenge in the emerging markets, a report from the Economist Intelligence Units, many recruiters, particularly in the pharmaceuticals, IT and engineering sector, judging by their survey results, will increasingly tap the developing countries for talent. The labor mobility has grown to such an extent now that it is fair to say talent has become globalized for the world today. Another significant factor affecting the worldwide talent pool is the contribution of emerging markets which are producing a surplus of young talent. Second is lateral recruiting. In this fast changing world, where probably more than one new product and services is introduced in the market every day, the requirement for the new skill is continuously surfacing. A decade back, animation jobs were few, content building was unheard of, wind power generation was niche industry. These in new generation business, especially those powered by the internet and the retail revolution, are continuously generating increasing requirements for the new kind of skills, with the result that the demand has far outstripped supply of the trained professional in these new sunrise industries. The talent demand of the new industry is being met from the established industries. Therefore, insurance is riding banking, internet content building talent is being sourced from the publishing world. This kind of lateral recruitment is therefore putting unnatural pressures on the variety of industries, making the problem more acute than what it was earlier. Third is finding and training people. In addition to this broad demand for the talent, the demand of the high caliber managerial talent is growing as the globalization, deregularization and rapid advance in technology is changing the game in most industries. The job of the manager is becoming more challenging. Companies today need managers who can respond to these challenges. They need leaders who can transform their businesses and inspire their people. In addition to the increased demand from established companies to highly capable managers, startups have added a whole new layer of demand in this talent pool. Next is changing face of the workforce. In India, today the workforce is more heterogeneous than any time in the history. The workforce today has multiple generations, culturally diverse people working together. Traditionalist, Generation X and Generation Y each has its distinct set of work values, learning and communication styles, and personal and professional motivators. Organizations that will thrive in the 21st century will develop the diverse programs and technology that effectively motivate, reward, and develop these distinct generations. The fastest growing segment in the talent pool is that of the knowledge worker. They will often advance the overall understanding of that subject through the focused analysis, design, or development. Job mobility is another significant change in this fast changing diverse knowledge workforce. Next is out of box thinking. Talent management was introduced by the McKinsey in 1997 in their article called The War for Talent, about a decade back. Since then, the companies have been sensitive to the strategic importance of the concept and have also tried to adopt and implement it. Most of the failures largely trace their roots to the fact that the entire design and the process of talent management was left in the hand of human resource development. In the absence of ownership, no initiative could be taken to its logical conclusion in the true spirit. In the absence of the shared ownership of the process efforts that have been put in, initiatives which have been taken to do not have the perspective. As dynamics continue to change, executive must constantly rethink the way the companies plan to attract, motivate and retain their employees in different from their competitors are doing to stay ahead of the race for the talent. Hence, any organization which does not let and in fact do not help its people to do their best is doomed. Employees might not go on strike, but they definitely have the opinion to leave, and therein lies the importance of the talent management. Now, let us understand the challenges of the talent management during the merger and acquisition. A merger is a combination of the two companies to form a new company, while an acquisition is the purchase of one company by another, in which no new company is formed. In recent time, mergers and acquisitions have gained importance in the global business. Organizational dynamics change significantly during the merger or an acquisition, and needless to say, impact the human capital as well. The challenges of the talent management during the mergers and acquisition include cultural barriers, communication challenges, management challenges, identifying and engaging talent. Let us now study the cultural barriers. There may be quite a few cultural barriers involved, irrespective of the fact whether the two companies involved are headquartered in the separate countries. Apart from the language and differences in the behavioral norms, cultural differences may include how both the organization define and measure success, the kind of rewards and benefits used, such as personal time and insurance, conflict management styles, decision-making process, the overall management style of leadership in both the organization, and the attitude of the employees and managers toward business functions and the industry in which they work. Next is communication challenges. The lack of proper communication before, during, and after the merger or acquisition can lead to chaos, insecurities, and even integration failures. Incomplete, delayed, or even false communication demotivate employees. Management challenges. Changing roles, reporting relationship and organizational structure, and different management styles can create bottlenecks in the integration process. Absence of good organization design from early in the integration process can lead to unclear goals, lack of role clarity, and poor decision making, which can be a major bottleneck in the process. The fourth is identifying and engaging talent. One of the key challenges during a merger or acquisition is to identify and retain the key talent who are crucial for the achievement of the short-term and long-term business goals because of their knowledge, skills and expertise. If this talent pool is ignored, it can be easily poached by the competitors, leading to the major losses for both the companies. Let us now summarize what we have studied in this module. An organization's HR department get its strength from proactive management who endorse the development of appropriate, transparent and systematic policies and procedures to optimize the use of knowledge resources. This is important in order to remain competitive in today's ever-changing world. In the knowledge economy, where the business is largely dependent on the technology, strategists need to be very careful about the job requirement and employee profile assessment. They should study job requirement carefully and hire and nourish those employees who can drive the business forwards. And to optimize time and cost, they should consider adopting a virtual organizational structure to improve the organizational performance. At its heart, talent management is simply a matter of anticipating the need for the human capital and then setting out a plan to meet it. The current responses to this challenge largely falls into the two distinct and equally ineffective camps. The first, and by far the most common, is to do nothing, anticipate no needs at all, make no plans for addressing them, rendering the term talent management meaningless. This reactive approach replies overwhelming and outside hiring and has flattered now that the surplus of the management talent has eroded. The second common, only among large, older companies rely on the complex and the bureaucratic models from the 1950s for forecasting and succession planning, legacy systems that grew up in the era when the business was highly predictable and that fails now because they are inaccurate and costly and in more volatile environment. Today, every organization looks innovative. Capacity to competitive advantage depends. Therefore, if the organization has a clear description of what they are looking for in terms of talent, talent management seems a clear-cut process. Collins and Mellai suggest that the quest for the talent should start with delivering key positions for realizing the competitive advantage from the business strategy and then continue by developing talent pools in order to fill those positions and setting up the appropriate HR architecture to develop the talents. Talent management is beneficial to both the organizations and the employees. The organization benefits from increased productivity and the capability, better linkages between the individual efforts and the business goal, commitment of the valued employee, reduced turnover, increased bench strength and better fit between the people, job and skills. On the other hand, employee benefit from higher motivation and commitment, career development, increased knowledge about the contribution to the company's goal, sustained motivation and job satisfaction. Thus, talent management plays a very vital role for the growth and development of the business. That was all in this module, students. Thank you.